40th anniversary of Royal Exchange Theatre in this space this coming year. So the September 2016 to May 2017 season is the 40th anniversary season, 40 years. And this was the original cotton trading hall for the city. And there's photos of this place absolutely packed full of men, and it was all men in those days, bidding for cotton in here. So amazing heritage around here. It was lying empty, and when the 4 directors were looking for a space for a new theatre in Manchester, they were shown here by the City Council and had the idea to create the module, as it's called, the spaceship.
The module, the spaceship.
Yeah. And
where all the artists get to go and do their thing.
Yeah, and so it's all in the round. There's 3 stories. There's a stage level, an upper gallery and a gallery. It is a fantastic space to watch theatre, and in fact spoils you because every seat is very close to the action, and it's very hard to move yourself to an end-on space actually after being in there. You know, you can always tell when people who haven't been here come in through the doors in the evenings, because they immediately look up and their mouths
Jaws
drop open, and you just think, right, they've not been here before. And it is incredible. I mean, there's nothing like it in the world, really. It's totally unique.
You were the executive director here.
Yeah.
I've always thought running a venue must be really hard.
Yeah, it is hard because it never stops.
And apparently they have a train station too.
Lots of things happen here.
Lots of things are going on.
You never know what will be happening.
Stay tuned.
And there's something on all the time. You're open every day. When you create your own work like we do, so we have fabulous resources of makers, so wonderful people in the wardrobe, wonderful talent in the workshop. It is like a factory because you're constantly churning plays out and churning productions out, and then we've got a really, really lively participation program, so there's all sorts of other things happening, and we do a lot of talent development as well for people at earlier stages in their career. So, and we do work outside the building, so there's a lot happening, but it's fantastic because there's a real energy with that. So it is hard, and I think you were lucky in Manchester. The city are incredibly supportive of culture and are investing in culture. A lot of my other colleagues at the moment are in city councils where, because of all the government cuts, they have to cut back on everything. And so it is more difficult for them, you know, when you have huge chunks of your funding taken away. Because the one thing about all of us is we work on this interesting model of income that we earn through the box office, income that we earn through development, fundraising, sponsorship, private donors, and then this third tranche of public investment from the Arts Council and local authority. And 3 bounce off each other, really. So when you pull from one, it's really difficult not to let it upset the other.
Yes.
So it's a challenging time at the moment.
Yeah.
It's, really
it's always a balancing act.
Yeah.
Now you've moved on to the Manchester International Festival.
Yeah. So
you're about to take over?
I'm about to start in a week's time. I go part-time, and then I start there full-time in April.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. So I've got another 6 weeks.
How exciting.
Yeah, really exciting. It's
John McGrath, who is the artistic director, has had a lot to say about you.
Right.
Very lovely things.
Yeah.
He says that you are one of his heroes.
Oh, well, he's one of my heroes.
It's nice to have words like that said about you.
Yeah, well, John and I first worked together back in the late 90s when Contact Theatre, which is also part of the university up the road, Theatre for Young People, was one of the first organisations alongside the Royal Opera House to get lottery money for the building. And I went in to manage that project for the board, and as part of it, Cully Chiari came in, who's now actually just gone to National Theatre Wales, to look at what might a new model of a regional theatre be. Because at that point in the late 90s there were lots of theatres in trouble around the country, and we developed this model around young people. Participation was really important. How do you grow and develop and empower young people as artists and leaders? And John came in to be artistic director of Contact. It was funny, we had a whole range of applications, and then there was this wonderful application from this bloke in New York who nobody knew, and the chair of the board, Wiley Longmore, did a telephone interview with him, and then he came over and he was absolutely perfect. He appeared from almost out of nowhere.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's
so
life, isn't it?
yeah, it is life, and it was fantastic. And so I had the privilege to work with John for the first couple of years of Contact opening, really. So we know each other. A long time ago, we've both done different things since then and moved on, and we're both, I don't know, 15, 16 years older.
A bit older and wiser.
Yeah, older and wiser, I guess. So the chance to go back and work with him, but also with the fantastic team at MIF.
What sort of thing do you hope to see? What sort of space do you hope to walk into, or sounds do you hope to hear that maybe you haven't, or something you might
the
do?
festival, I mean, I think the joy of the festival for everybody, for the artists who work on it, for the audiences, for the staff, and also for the media and other stakeholders, is that you don't know what you're going to see. But what you do know you're going to see is something unusual, unique and special.
Because the focus is on new commissioned work.
And something that is likely to be a collaboration of different art forms.
Because looking down over the years, some of the collaboration, everything from rap people to Ennio Morricone and
I mean, it's huge. I guess
I was reading down the list thinking, oh, I'd like to come up and see you during the festival.
The festival was born out of the legacy of the Commonwealth Games, and at that time, within the city, there was an understanding that contemporary art, and on a big scale, could help change perceptions of the city, cultural.
Idris Elba, who's presented a speech to Parliament.
I'm here to talk about diversity, okay? Diversity in the modern world is more than just a skin colour. It's a gender, age, disability, sexual orientation, social background, and most importantly, in my opinion, it's diversity of thought.
How do you bring new faces and new voices and new stories? And I mean, how do you specifically drive those things?
Well, I think, you know, what starts it off is having an artistic director who's interested in breaking the mould and doing things differently, and I think that has to be the starting point, really. And not just an artistic director, I guess having senior management that you know, really want to do something differently. It really comes from that, and it's about leadership in a way, if you really want to start doing it. And then it's quite hard work, you know, because you have to, I guess, widen your own perspective, get out there and find out who is out there, get around more, see more pieces of work.
And it seems like often collaboration is the thing. You know, really things start sparking when you identify, you know, people like yourself identify someone to bring together. It must be one of the beauties of the festival.
Yeah, I guess it will be. I mean,
Is this where you thought you would be when you started out in this career in the arts? Did you start out as a juggler and didn't make it as a juggler, or an actress, or
no,
I mean,
no. I started out as an usherette when I was doing my degree in Manchester. And the Palace Theatre had just reopened. It had a huge amount of money spent on it, refurbishment, and a few of my friends worked there. And they said, oh, you've got to come and work here because, you know, at that time, I don't know what you got a show, maybe £6 a show, something.
But you got to see the show free.
Got to see the show. It was a great laugh. You worked with great people. And there was a great nightlife in Manchester going on at that time. The Hacienda was just opening, you know, different things were happening. So that's how I started. I got interested in working in that environment. I think I never really knew what I wanted to do. So it was great to find this quite creative environment.
So it was being in around those people, those spaces, those...
Yeah, and then and what I loved was I always get a real buzz from an audience going in to see something and coming out being really moved in some way. I'm feeling really proud of being part of, even though I'm not on the stage, of having something to do with making their experience great. So then I applied for jobs when I left, and my first job was at Nottingham Playhouse as house manager. So I sort of wiggled myself around, really. Whenever there's been a really nice job, I've sort of gone for it. More often than not, I've got it, not always. And it's sort of taken me on a windy journey through the cultural sector of the country. I don't think I ever knew I wanted to get anywhere.
And what I've heard lots of things lots of wonderful superlatives being used to describe you. Strategic, visionary. What is the one thing that you have learned over time that you really think is the most important thing for your success and your participation in the arts? Is it determination?
I think I am determined and tenacious in quite a quiet way. Mm-hmm. I think I'm very collaborative. So I guess I try to... Here, the secret of here has been having a fabulous team and an artistic director with great ideas, but also having the back of my mind the whole time, how do we make ourselves relevant? Are we relevant? Is what I'm hearing different people say that they can be part of us, that they want to come here, whether they're a young artist or an audience member, is what we're putting on what they want to see? Is there room for young artists in the city to be part of here? Is what we're doing relevant to theatre in the UK?
It must be exciting for you to see something that starts off here and then makes its way down south, rather than the other way.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and you know, at the moment we've got on Rolling Stones has been at the Orange Tree. No, that was the festival.
Oh, that was
Wonderland
the festival.
National. Yeah, we've got Yen at the Royal Court. You know, so we always do have a foot in other camps. But you know, the most important thing actually is the respect people in this city have for the theatre and whether they think it's relevant to their lives or not.
Well, seeing it being used and people coming in and someone's having a coffee and reading a play I saw down there, and other people having a meeting and kids are in there doing a workshop, you must be so proud of this place.
Yeah, I think we all are. We've just won last week. We went to London to pick it up. The stage as Regional Theatre of the Year for this year. So that is a real, that's great to have that sort of external validation of what everybody's doing. I think, you know, I mean, you know, me personally, I don't like to rest on yesterday. You know, I'm always moving forward. So I never spend too long thinking about the past. I'm always on, well, how do we move forward? How do we move forward? Which sometimes is a bit of a... it's a bit hard, I think, on me, let alone everyone else. But I do know in these buildings that you're not as good as your past, you're only as good as your future.
What's coming up? Yeah, what's scheduled for the next season.
Yeah.
Good luck with the Manchester International Festival.
Lovely.
We'll look with interest.
Yeah.